You know something, Rory?
What's up?
I went to an Indian restaurant last night for some garlic bread, and they had naan.
Naan bread, garlic naan. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of That's Class, a podcast about things we find class, hosted by two of your favourite class holes. My name is Ruaridh Kidd and co-hosting with me as always is Duncan Malcolm. How's it going, Dunk?
It's going really well. Very, very well. How are you today?
I'm good. I've had a good solid week. A lot of things have happened this week, and yesterday I did absolutely FA.
FA.
It was a real lockdown day for me, where I just ran out of things to do and just sat and watched quite a lot of television. One of the things I actually watched in its whole trilogy was The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. Oh, that's good.
Yes. So if you've been keeping track on Disney Plus, they've just released a new TV show called The Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
Yes, they have.
And I basically watched episode 1 and then thought, I can't remember what happened.
Can't remember a goddamn thing of what happened to the Mighty Ducks.
So I decided, it's Disney Plus, they must have it. And then I didn't realize there was a trilogy, so I just watched the trilogy and that was my day.
What an excuse. Yeah, I like the idea of Game Changers. It looks like they're trying to do like a Cobra Kai thing.
Yeah.
Where they think that it's going to, 20 years later on.
Yeah. And then the kid actors seem actually quite good.
Oh yeah, it's a real lottery when you've got it's like the did you see the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell on Netflix?
No, I didn't.
No,
actually.
That was really good, and the kid actor in it, she's not bad, but there's like a second one where some of the kid actors he's not as good, but hey, he's getting paid and we're not, so I guess that's
fine.
That's a win.
That's
win
fine.
for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's a complete toss up when you're like, we need to cast a kid, and the director's probably like, oh no.
Oh no.
You get
What's
Harry.
this kid
You're
gonna
gonna
be like?
get.
Is he
You're
gonna...
gonna get Harry Potter, or you're gonna get. You're
Well,
gonna get
yeah.
like the next
Are you gonna
Macaulay
get-
Culkin, or
What's his? Yeah, Dan Radcliffe, who wasn't great as a kid actor, or Emma Watson, who was incredible as a kid actor.
yeah,
Dan Radcliffe now, phenomenal actor, I think.
Emma Watson nowhere to be found.
Yeah, don't know. She's more into fashion now, I guess, than acting. But speaking of Dan Radcliffe, have you seen the Escaping of Pretoria yet?
I have not. Is it again?
The
good?
Escaping of Pretoria, as they say.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
My South African accent. Australian.
I was going to say Australian, no, it's South African accent. We'll tick that one off my
Yes.
bingo sheet.
It is actually one of the many things I like to do
What?
constantly in my life. And I think I'm all right. I think it's pretty good. And if my South African friends happen to listen to this podcast, they could comment and message me and tell me what a terrible job I'm doing and that I should stop doing it.
I'm going to come beat you up.
Yes.
Cultural
Beat me up.
appropriation right there.
Once international travel is a thing now.
Yeah, that's it.
What have you been up to this week? You been all right?
Yeah, not too much. Working 9 till 5. Not much going on. Watched Aquaman. After we talked about Justice League, I went and watched Aquaman because it was on Amazon Prime.
My man.
It's a good film. Like I don't understand. It's a weird revolving door of DC films where some of them are terrible, and then you've got Wonder Woman and Aquaman holding the whole thing up.
Yeah, 100%.
And Wonder Woman's not that. Wonder Woman's pretty good. Wonder Woman 2 apparently is not that great, but Aquaman 1 is just mental. And there's so many bits and pieces where you think that's a bit strange, but you just roll with it, and it's just enjoyable.
Yeah, it's the closest Marvel version of a DC movie I've ever seen. Because it's colourful, it's funny, it's action-packed, and you don't take it seriously.
Yeah, you don't take it seriously. I think it has some good moments. I think the plot's all right. The actors are all very good actors and actresses in it. It's fun. Julie Andrews is the goddamn Kraken. Like you're kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's bound to be a good movie with Julie Andrews in it.
Julie Andrews voicing the Kraken. That's a weird choice.
But anyway, a little bit of housekeeping for everyone who is listening, or for some reason wants to listen to this podcast. If you do, just search your favorite podcast service for That's Class. We'll be right there for you waiting. We upload a new episode every single Monday morning, just in time for your commute to work or the kitchen, because so far everyone's still furloughed and we're still working from home. So if you're one of those people, you can just stick it on in the kitchen or your office. If you prefer to watch a podcast and put the faces to the voices and instantly regret making that decision, you can also find us on YouTube the following Wednesday. Just search for That's Class. If you enjoy what we do here, drop us a 5-star review. We accept 5 stars as a minimum. And leave a like, share this with your friends, lie to your friends and tell them that they'll enjoy it just so that we can get a listen.
You really, really enjoy it. We swear, I swear. They're not paying me anything, and that is true.
This is true. We're not going to pay anyone. Just lie to your friends so that we can get the listens. So moving swiftly on, shall we get into the news? There's been lots happening this week.
Yeah,
we're overflowing with news.
Yeah, that's a first.
Quick, yeah, I know. Quick recap of episode 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What did you think?
I thought it was good. Once again, the Winter Soldier story is way better than the Falcon story.
Yeah,
and I quite like the new Captain America. Seems pretty cool. Who's actually Kurt Russell's son. So that'll be it's Wyatt Russell. He seems pretty good. I like the fact they've given him a sidekick already. I thought that was quite good. I think the Winter Soldier just generally is a cooler character, and it was one of these episodes where finally, the plot's getting going. We'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
what about yourself?
I think this episode really kind of took it home for me that Disney Plus or Marvel were going to really, really go there, in inverted commas, in terms of racial.
Yeah, that bit. I felt like that
contrast.
Bit with the cops. I felt like that bit with the cops was kind of actually really shoehorned in.
I don't know if it was. I felt quite intense on it. I was like, oh man, because it's relevant to kind of what happened last year.
It's relevant, but I'm not saying it's not relevant. What I'm saying is it felt really kind of literally. They walked out and they were literally just walking. It wasn't even walking like the cops.
They were having a small argument.
Yeah, but it was the way like the cop came around the corner. It wasn't like he was sitting outside the house when they arrived. I think if he'd been sitting there at the start before they went in, then it would have made more sense. Whereas it's the way they come spinning round, like with the sirens on, and you're kind of like, what the hell is going on here? And it's not like they had the argument. Then it was like 5 minutes later, the cops arrived or whatever. It was like literally they started arguing and the cops just sprung up, and you're like, all right, okay, so the timing's a little bit off. But you're right, it's very relevant. I think they're definitely going there. I think we can all see that Falcon's going to be a black Captain America by the end of this. Yeah,
and I thought again, like showing that, like 50 years ago, there was a black Captain America, but because he was black, he didn't get given the limelight like Steve Rogers did, and instead he got experimented on and then put in jail.
Yeah, that's a bad time. Yeah.
Which sucks, and it really kind of shows. It shows me that they are going to go through with, is America ready for a black Captain America? And
which is where
Falcon,
they're going.
Yeah, does Falcon accept the fact that he wants to be Black Captain America, or just Captain America? And he even says that to the small child. He's like, "I'm not Black Falcon. I'm just Falcon."
Yeah, it's Falcon. Does that make you Black Child?
Yeah, that was a good line. And also, I think I liked how they introduced the new Captain America. I can't remember his name. John Walters. Is that right?
Is it Walters?
Walkers?
No. Walker. Like Texas Ranger.
Yeah. So I quite like that he just wants to do the right thing, and he doesn't really want to, he can't be Steve. He knows that. And we noticed that he hasn't taken the serum, because when he goes in and tries to help the guys out on that fight, he gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's probably going to go,
really.
It's going to go along the lines of Walker will take the serum because he'll realize he needs it now. and Falcon will not take the serum because he believes that to be Captain America, you don't need it. You need basically he's gonna be Captain America.
I think there might be a fake out here. I would rather see John Walker continue to be Captain America, but then it turns out he's actually a Skrull. I think that would be a good twist.
Skrulls.
The Skrulls, because they are coming. So,
well, they've been involved for a while.
yeah, but now that Disney own all the rights to them, because there's like multiple characters they didn't own because they were part of the Fantastic Four. So now they own the majority of them. Now they can start like, now we're going to find out who's actually. Then they can do secret, because they're already doing a Secret War or Secret Invasion.
Invasion, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, fun times.
Yeah. Fun times. Speaking of fun times, nice little segue, is they've just released the new trailer for the Suicide Squad.
They have.
What did have you seen it yet?
I have seen it. I watched it. I
sent it
twice.
I sent it to the chat, so you should have seen it.
You did. Yeah, I watched it. I watched it twice. I watched it, and it looks good. But the first Suicide Squad had a good trailer, and we all know how that turned out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is the first Suicide Squad, you were hooked, you were dropped, like, the trailer looked amazing, so you were like, I'm going to go see that movie, and this movie was fine.
Average.
It was fine.
It's fine. I think it was ruined. I think it was ruined by, and this sounds really, really bad, but it was basically ruined by Will Smith's character. He's the only character that's not that interesting.
Yeah.
I think that this time they're focusing on Rick Flag, which is the leader of, Joel
Is
Kinnaman,
that,
who everyone
Idris
kind of
Elba?
likes. No, that's Joel Kinnaman.
Is that the guy with the yellow t-shirt?
Yes, he's in the first one.
Yeah, he was in the first one. He was the army guy.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the leader of the Suicide Squad.
Is he playing the same character?
Yep. As is Viola Davis is playing the same Amanda Waller again. Is it Viola Davis? I think it is.
I think so. Yeah. But I think it looks incredible, and it is genuinely a James Gunn movie. Like, it looks like it's got James Gunn plastered all over it. And to be fair, his track record, Marvel-wise, he gave us 5 characters
Guardians
that
1.
no one had ever heard of and made us appreciate and like them.
Yeah, I
So
think
hopefully
he
he does
track
the same
record's
here.
quite good with Guardians 1, terrible with Guardians 2.
No, but in terms of, like, introducing us to new characters.
Oh yeah, he's very good
things
at
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Like, he made us like Rocket and Groot.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's gonna be so, like, obviously there's like 20 characters in this, so some of them are gonna die like it's like Mortal Kombat. It's gonna be brutal.
In the poster, or I think it was at the end of the trailer, it says don't get too attached. So, like, it kind of makes you think that all these characters are just going to die.
Oh, half of them are going to run away. I hope they see. The only one I hope that doesn't die is really King Shark.
King Shark, who I looked up, is played by Sylvester Stallone.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hand was like one of the things he said in the trailer.
Or there's this bit where just before he eats the guy, sneaks up on the guy, and instead of sneaking up on him, he goes nom nom, and he just picks the guy up and like bites him in half.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
And another character that I can't wait to see, that you see a little glimpse of, is played by is it Sean Gunn? Is that his brother?
Yeah, the rat. Yeah,
no, it's not a rat. It's a weasel.
A weasel, yeah.
It's meant to be a weasel.
Yeah.
And you see a glimpse of him just like licking
a window.
the glass. And I thought it was a cat at first, and I looked it up and it's a weasel. This movie looks ridiculous, and I'm all in.
Yeah, it looks as bonkers as it should be. And this is kind of like lead back, like watching Aquaman, and you're like, it's a fun film. This also, remember, this is the same film where Superman is Jesus. Like, it's the same world.
Yeah, same universe.
Same universe where Superman is being filmed as like, it's like gods battling gods, and then there's these guys just blowing up an island. It looks very sort of The Expendables 1 or like Commando. Like, it looks like just an 80s action film.
I think you shouldn't go into this movie expecting a blockbuster style movie. You should be expecting it to forget the world for 2 hours and just have some fun. And I think
buy a
that's what
big
I'm
tub
going
of
to do with
popcorn and just sit there and laugh.
it. Yeah, but yeah, over the
But then
top,
speaking,
laughing, chucking your popcorn in the air.
yeah, moving on to that. This March 31st, Godzilla versus Kong, exactly the same
Ah,
thing.
yes.
Very excited for that because if you
I
have it, go on.
I will watch it. I'm not terribly excited for it because I very much disliked the King of Monsters movie that came out prior. I thought it was such a crap movie.
It's not supposed to be like they always seem to add these human elements. I'm not watching it for
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to watch
All
the
I
human
care,
elements.
yeah, I just want to see Godzilla and Kong, and probably, I think it's not even a spoiler at this point, probably a third entity that's probably going to be like Mecha Godzilla, if it was like a giant robotic version of Godzilla, and I would
Oh
see
wow.
it's going to be hopefully like a triple threat match.
Uh oh, I didn't realize that. But
Uh,
I've been listening to Kind of Funny podcast, and they do in review episodes, and they've been going through every Godzilla.
Film.
I think it's called the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, it is called the MonsterVerse. Yeah.
They've been going through the MonsterVerse and just reviewing them every week up until March 31st, and they're going to do the Godzilla versus Kong movie. And so I've been watching along with them and then listening to the pod afterwards. And oh my God, I 100% agree with what they thought about King of Monsters, because you've got so many characters. And I think the main characters' names are called like Mark and Emma, which is just kind of in my head shows you how average this movie is with the sort of average names of the lead characters. Billy Bobby Brown, very good in it. She's a really good actress.
Yeah, and it's like Ken Watanabe's good, and there's good characters in it. It's just we don't need you don't need as
No.
much of the family drama. Let's just cut to the chase here. Although I do, one of my favorite shots is that shot underwater where Godzilla appears out of nowhere.
Is that when he
they're
destroys
underwater.
the Golden Gate Bridge or something? Or is that another movie?
I don't think that's a different movie. I'm talking about the one where they're sitting underwater and it's completely dark, and then
Oh
Godzilla
yeah.
just appears out of no, like, complete jump scare. That's a fantastic shot.
Yeah.
I
that's
just
good.
like I just like the film. I'm just excited to watch like two giant monsters fight each other.
Yeah.
It's the same appeal as any heavyweight fight. You just want to see two guys absolutely punch the
So
shit out of each other.
it's out on March 31st. Is that a HBO Max thing again?
It is HBO Max, so I can only presume it's going on to Now TV. I hope it's going
No,
to Now
or
TV.
and Sky, I imagine as well, because that's
And
what
Now
Justice
TV
League did.
Sky, yeah, I think it'll be on them. Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat's out soon as well. I wonder if that'll be
It
the same.
is. Mortal Kombat is out in like
April 17th, I
Two-
think.
2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So
Finish him.
they're all they finish them. They're coming. The films are they're releasing like hot potatoes at the moment.
I know.
Yeah,
They're
17th
like, which is funny
Saturday.
because we haven't had movies in so long, I feel. And now all of a sudden we're just getting so many movies in concession. Like everything is
so
just
much
getting
content.
released now. And even with the we posted this on our Instagram, the release date of Black Widow movie is coming to Disney Plus.
It is. Yeah.
I think that's in June 3rd or something.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually screwed up with that. They could have released that way earlier, and they
'Cause
were
it was
refusing to. I'm refusing to.
Yeah. Because they want it to be a cinema.
Yeah, because they wanted to be a
Yeah.
cinema, but you've got warehouses, probably a warehouse full of merchandise.
Toys
that
and stuff.
hasn't been sold, toys and T-shirts and
Yeah.
all sorts of shit that Disney make. And if you look on like the sale sections of things like Forbidden Planet, or like Amazon, all the Black Widow stuff is like dropped down in price because they're trying to get rid of it because they shouldn't have it because they're stocking up for the next film.
Yeah. Was
so
it meant to
basically
be
they've been
released
holding-
before WandaVision?
Yeah, it's supposed to be released like May last year.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're talking
fair
about.
enough.
Where, like, everything's way off course. Like nothing's supposed to be where it is, where it was originally.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, I think they've done quite well with releasing WandaVision, then Captain Winter Soldier. I think it's quite good that they've had to stall it almost. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've just sort of gone into the rabbit hole of the TV show Killing Eve on the BBC,
Right.
and it's about a Russian assassin, and I'm all in for another movie about a Russian assassin.
Another movie about Russian assassins. It's better. Have you ever seen the film
If-
Anna?
No, but I know what you're on about.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's actually
Yeah.
it's way better than it's way better than it has any right to be.
Okay.
It's quite good. It's got is it Cillian Murphy doing his best
Yeah.
sort of James American version of James Bond. It's curly.
He was
angling
up for
that.
James Bond as a rumor.
He was, but I think he's either A, too old, or B, too short.
Or
It's
too
probably
Irish.
or you have to be too Irish. Well, no, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So,
Famously,
Are
the
you-
only James Bond to want a pint rather than a martini.
pint rather than martini, yeah.
Nice. Moving on.
Uh,
On our fifth part of news, some sad news
Sad news.
that we'll
Yes.
let the listeners in on. If you don't know already, Jessica Walters has died on Thursday.
Oh,
Was it Friday?
don't quote me on that.
She died at the age of 80. If
Died at the age
you
of
don't
80.
quite know the name, she was Mummy Bluth in Arrested Development.
Lucille Bluth.
Lucille Bluth.
Lucille
And she was
Bluth.
also
Mallory
Mallory
Archer in
Archer.
Archer, which is one of our favourite
Yes.
TV shows. So that's why
One
we're
of-
mentioning this.
one of our favorite TV shows, but I've not seen it in ages. I kind of got out of the loop when they stopped being ISIS for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
They stopped being ISIS, and then they just kind of did like period drama episode, like series of Archer, and I kind of fell out of love with it. I don't know, like I'll
Yeah.
maybe jump back in.
They went back to the last season. He wakes up, so the 3 period pieces are him in a coma, and then he wakes up from his coma in the start of season 11, and they've still got 2 more series to go.
I didn't know that. So,
so
I imagine you've written here. What might this affect it for the next season? Do you think
Yeah, I don't
they'll
know.
kill
I don't
her
know if she
off, or do you
recorded
think-
any voice lines. She didn't
Yeah.
sound the same. It sounds really bad now, speaking of all the dead, but she didn't sound the same as she did. They cut like the seasons before.
really?
In the recent season, I didn't think there was a couple of times I think, but then again, that could just be like recency bias where I'm remembering it wrong. But I think that she is a main character, and obviously she has a massive effect on every character in the show. So it'll be interesting to see, did she record her season, or do they have to write her out like mid-season, like they have to do like JR and picking Dallas or something like that, where they have to like kind of, or Oliver Reed, was it, that died during Gladiator? Remember the guy? There's somebody
Oh,
died,
yeah,
or
the guy that
Paul
played Caesar.
Walker in Fast and the Furious, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Carrie Fisher.
So, or Carrie Fisher in Star Wars, yeah. So it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they do it. There's a couple of things they could do that I think would be
I mean,
very funny, but obviously you've got to be
the good
respectful.
part about it being a cartoon is they could always just like revamp or reuse her audio from other seasons, and you could
Yes.
almost implement a conversation that she could just say the same thing, or she could, it would still be Mallory Archer's attitude in her character, but I think it would be quite nice for them to write her out, or at least kill her off in some sort of funny
I think she has
way.
to either go out spectacularly, or they do it off screen. I think she deserves that. Either it's like quietly done off screen and it's done like it opens up with like the funeral or something, or
Yeah.
you what do you call it? Or you do some sort of spectacular like guns blazing sort of thing.
Yeah. It could be a classic Archer where she'd be talking up something so grand and be like, don't be so worried for me, like Sterling. Everything's going to be fine, and then flash cut
Boom.
to a funeral.
yeah, something like that. I think I trust them to get it right. But yeah, it was sad news. And obviously, did you watch Arrested Development?
I loved Arrested Development. I got introduced to Arrested Development back in high school, I think. My friend Lloyd Jones was the only one in my friendship group that had Sky.
All right, okay.
So he introduced me
He is
to
the
Arrested
Messiah.
Development. He was. He had Sky and he had a PlayStation. We had 4 channels and a Nintendo 64.
He is the Messiah.
So Lloyd introduced me to Arrested Development, and then I got more into it in uni. And I might go back into it because since she's died, there's been a lot more stuff on YouTube about Arrested Development that I've noticed. I don't know if that's just the algorithm, but
Probably.
what I've really enjoyed is this guy is timing, Michael Cera's character, his
Yep.
internal
Internal monologue
times. So like someone will ask him a question and the narrator will start narrating about what he's thinking.
Mm.
And then this guy like starts pushing the timer and it's like timing up to 40 seconds. And then he goes, it had been 40 seconds since George Michael had even said a word. And he stops it and it was like exactly 40 seconds. So I kind of want to go back into it and just relive Arrested Development. If the listeners haven't
clever.
watched any of Arrested Development or Archer, we highly recommend that you go in and watch it because Jessica Walters is probably the standout in both.
Yeah, I'd say she's one of the
franchises.
standouts in both of them. Yeah,
and it's also they're both incredibly funny. So yeah.
Yeah. Arrested Development. Arrested Development's one of these things where I think it'll get further down the line. People realize how great it actually was.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't forget, there's always money in the banana stand.
Always money. How much is a banana? $10?
$10.
Classic line by Julie.
Well, moving on to, I guess, happier news, in a way, is that yesterday it was Quentin Tarantino's birthday.
It was. Big Quentin. How old
Big
is
Quentin.
he? Did you find out?
I didn't actually look up how old he is. He must be
Terrible research for the podcast.
a terrible research. I wasn't really planning on talking about how old he was. Age is just a number, Rory.
Age is just a number.
Age is just a number.
For one,
he
I'm
says,
turning a
he
certain
says
age.
being 29 when you're turning a certain age this year.
I'm turning a certain age, and I'm terrified of the number, but also I act like a 4-year-old, so it's fine. You're as old as you act, as my gran says, I think.
He
tend to
he's
just...
supposedly 58.
58? Good effort.
58.
I thought you would have been older.
No,
But
no, it's only 58.
certain thing that you wanted to do to celebrate Quentin's birthday.
Well, I was reading an article about it's Quentin Tarantino's birthday, so we have they ranked Tarantino's films, and from what they think is worst to best. And I thought we could quickly run through ours, and we can quickly talk about just how much fun you have watching Quentin Tarantino films.
Nice one. So, those of you that don't know, Tarantino is famous for saying that he's only going to make 10 movies. And obviously he's been involved in a lot more than that. But I think his directorial movies, rather than things he's helped write and stuff like that, he's only made 9?
Yeah, he's only made 9, supposedly.
He's only made
although
9.
he's directed other things, like he directed 2 episodes of Crime Scene Investigation.
Yeah. And he did things like not Dawn of the Dead. What's it called? From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
He did From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a really good movie, and probably one of the first Tarantino movies I saw, actually. But it's not one of his, so what we're ranking are his 9 projects. So he's famously said he's going to stop at 10 because he wants to leave a legacy, and people get worse as they get older and move on. Which I think, compared to our rankings, probably yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're going to rank his 10. We've got 10. We've got a top 10. However, we're doing Kill Bill as 2 movies because Volume 1 and Volume 2
So it's
are
only
technically
9.
2 movies.
Technically 2 films, yeah. But so I'm going to read you their list, and I'm going to read you my list. But I haven't actually seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I missed it when it came out in the cinema, and I've been waiting for it to come on Netflix or Amazon Prime.
But before you jump in, what we'll give everyone the chronological order of how these movies came out.
If you want.
Okay, and then we'll go through all the rankings. Does that sound good?
All right, go for it. Yeah.
So 1992, Reservoir Dogs came out. 94 is Pulp Fiction. 97 is Jackie Brown. 2003 and 2004 are the Kill Bill movies. 2007 is the Grindhouse movie Death Proof. 2009 is Inglourious Bastards. 2012 is Django Unchained. 2015 was The Hateful Eight, and 2019 was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So
Yes,
go
indeed.
with the website's rankings. What
So
do they do?
the website ranking was Death Proof at 9,
Okay.
and they've put Volume 1 and Volume 2 together. So we'll
Okay, fair enough.
The Hateful Eight at number 8,
Oh,
Django at 7, Django Unchained at 7, then Reservoir Dogs. This is where I get.
my God.
I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Jackie Brown's at 5, right?
Yeah.
Which is I think Jackie Brown's actually an underrated one. Then
That's a
you've
movie
got,
I've not seen. Which
Kill Bill
people might-
Volume 1 and 2 at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Pulp Fiction, and they have Inglourious Bastards at 1.
No way.
They do. So
Their top three is
uniland.co.uk,
quite,
you can. I think
shit.
it's the wrong way around, but I think they've got mixed up there. But then it is personal opinion. They're wrong.
They're wrong, but
They're
personal
wrong, but
opinion.
it's personal
I mean,
opinion.
we're going to compare our two, and by looking, we've written them down together.
They're pretty similar.
Our top three is exactly the same
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
We've got the same 3 movies, but they're in a different order slightly.
Yeah.
Actually, top 4.
No, top 3 are the
top
same.
3.
Top
Top-
3 are the same.
Top 3 are the same ish. So-
Let's put just side note. He's never really made a bad film.
He's not.
There's
His
personal
movies are
preferences.
incredible.
Yeah, they're all incredible. You might not like some of them, but they're not actually that. But none of them
least-
are really bad.
The ones that I've seen, so right off the bat, I'm just going to say Death Proof and Jackie Brown I've not seen yet. I hold my hands up. Feel
Yep.
free to shoot me in the face.
That's
I
all right.
apologise.
I haven't seen Once
I'll
Upon a Time
need
in
to-
Hollywood, so we're ranking.
Yeah.
We've got 1 or 2 each that we haven't quite seen. But
Yeah.
I would say Death Proof for me goes in at 9. He's not. It's not. He doesn't even consider it to be his best work.
Oh, really?
It's a good film. It's a good film, but it's not. It's not his best. It's not got the kind of the broadness of characters really
Yeah.
that you kind of expect. And then you've
Yeah.
got Jackie Brown, which is on Netflix, by the way. So recommend watching that.
Oh, sick. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's on Netflix. So,
So
'cause I bought
what's
it on,
your-
I bought it on DVD and it was on Netflix.
What's your ranking? And then I'll go through
So,
mine.
Death Proof at 9, Kill Bill Volume 2 at 8, then Inglourious Bastards, Kill Bill Volume 1, Jackie Brown, Hateful Eight, Reservoir Dogs, Django Unchained, and Pulp Fiction at number 1.
Nice. I've gone Death Proof and Jackie Brown, bottom 2, because I've not seen them yet.
Yep.
8, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Really?
7,
Wow.
yeah, I'll explain why. 7, Kill Bill Volume 2. 6, Kill Bill Volume 1. You can probably put them together.
You probably could, yeah. It's kind of a hard
Yeah.
one.
5, Hateful Eight. 4, Inglourious Bastards. 3, Reservoir Dogs. 2, Django Unchained. 1, Pulp Fiction.
On Pulp Fiction. So we're pretty much in agreement. The top 3.
Top 3.
Django Unchained did to westerns what Pirates of the Caribbean did to adventure films.
Yeah.
For a brief moment, we had like a whole spate of westerns coming out after Django Unchained.
Yeah.
A bunch of great ones. Pulp Fiction is Pulp Fiction. I don't think.
Pulp Fiction is an absolutely genius movie.
Yeah,
And
it's
it should,
genius
it
in
should
a
live
weird
at
way.
number 1 all the time. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
his 10th movie is, Pulp Fiction will still be at number 1.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Django,
I
a lot of
mean,
people have said that Django was his most like tame movie. Like he never really ventured out and did anything weird or anything like The Hateful Eight is in one room type thing, you know? And
yeah,
Pulp Fiction is so weird with timelines and things like that, and looping back round to the start of the movie. Django is just so. This is what critics have
Linear.
said: is that it's so
Linear.
linear, and it's a adventure story, and then it becomes a Tarantino movie at the end with all the shoots and the guns and the blood and stuff. But for me, I loved it. I loved the main character of Jamie Foxx, and I loved Christoph Waltz's character, and I just like cowboys, so.
Oh, do you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I think Django Unchained is a great film. I think it's quite long, but it's definitely worth. I think it's one of these ones where you watch the full thing, and if you get past the 2 hour 34 mark, your concentration pays off, and you get the
Yeah.
rewarded for your for
Yeah.
watching the film. And then I've got Reservoir Dogs. Just for the Michael Madsen scene alone is worth every penny.
The dancing scene.
The dancing scene, and then you've got the restaurant scene at the start as well as a classic.
Nice. Yeah.
In which Tarantino's in.
I'm pretty sure he is in
He's in
every
most
single
of
one
them.
of these movies.
I think he's in most of them, yeah. I couldn't tell you
Django,
where he
he's
is
an
in some of
Aussie
them,
that
but-
blows himself up.
Is he Aussie or is he South African? I think you might find it. How did you not notice the South African accent?
I'm pretty sure he's Australian.
You
He
sure?
says the word, yeah, because the word after every sentence is mate. And I'm pretty sure you don't pretend to be
Maybe it is
Australian without
Australian.
putting
I thought
mate
he was
at the
South
end of every
African
sentence.
Tarantino character.
I'm pretty sure he's Australian.
Django. I'm
But,
looking it up now.
What you've done is you've gone Hateful Eight is number 4. I've done Inglourious Bastards as number 4, but Hateful Eight is number 5 for me because I think I've only seen it once, and I remember it being a good movie, but I remember having more fun watching Inglourious Bastards, which is why I've put it up there. I really
Right.
like Brad Pitt's Italian accent, and I enjoy the whole story. The Hateful Eight is a really good movie, and it's intense. And it's more about a character it's like not development, but like it's like a whodunit type thing, you know?
Yeah, I just like I think there's a weird opening. Hateful Eight for me, I think the characters make it more than the characters in Inglourious Bastards. Mind you, Brad Pitt is fantastic in Inglourious Bastards. I think it really just comes down to like a personal preference at that
Personal
point.
preference, 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Kill Bill, both volumes, I'll admit right now, I've only ever seen them once each. So that's why
okay.
there's 6 and 7 for me, because I don't really remember them.
I see. I quite like. I like Kill Bill Volume 1, and I feel like it almost like I understand why there's Volume 2, but Volume 1 is brilliant. And I've seen Volume 2, like you say. Well, I've not seen Volume 2 as much as I've seen Volume 1. But then they re-released it as a whole thing, and that is...
Really? Like one big movie?
I'm sure it's one big thing now, because I think it's called The Whole Bloody Affair.
Oh, cool.
So I think it's all put together. I wonder if that will make it better.
That's well named.
And then obviously I've got Inglourious Bastards at, like, it's sort of like the Kill Bill, Jackie Brown. I like
Yeah.
Jackie Brown. I think Jackie Brown's a good film.
I need to watch that.
I remember
film.
the book. So the book's called Rum Punch by Elmore
Oh, it's
Leonard.
based on a book, is it?
It's based on a book, and the book is fantastic. The book was written by Elmore Leonard, who's the same guy that wrote the book Get Shorty,
Ah, good movie.
which is also a film.
Very good
so
film.
Get Shorty, that Justified as well was an Elmore Leonard's story before it became a TV show. So he's kind of written a lot of great characters over the years. He writes stories where it's kind of top secret. He writes books like Pulp Fiction, basically.
Okay,
There's
cool.
multiple different characters, and you're not quite sure who's going to meet up with who, or they cross each other's paths and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's pretty good.
So
It's,
I mean, and then my last rated movie, because I haven't seen the other two, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I will tell you why.
okay.
I mean,
This
you've
is
not
interesting,
seen
'cause
this
a lot
yet.
of people say it's quite good. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to hear.
It's a very good movie. It's a long movie, but there's just so much B-roll that could be like skipped and cut out, in my opinion. So there's a lot of it's long, and it's very like there's a lot of dead air in the terms of you've got a lot of Brad Pitt getting into a car and then driving in silence.
Right,
Like,
okay. Like
he'll
Drive.
get into his car and he'll drive, and it'll be like a GoPro shot of him driving, and he'll
Okay.
just drive. And then maybe the camera will switch to behind him and he'll be driving. And I'm like, oh, you could just skip all. But like, I know what he's doing because he's adding little bits of tension here and there. And
Yeah.
you're thinking, why are we seeing this? Because nothing's happening. And then at the very, like, he'll stop at the lights and he'll meet a hippie or something. And that actually, that starts the story to go off on a different tangent. It is loosely based on the Manson murders.
Yes, I know that. Yeah, and Sharon Tate.
Yeah, so Sharon Tate is Leonardo DiCaprio's neighbor. And basically what Tarantino loves to do in a bunch of his movies is, like Inglourious Bastards, is what if Manson goes to the wrong house and he tries to kill Leo instead of Sharon Tate? So it all escalates from there, and it's about the Manson cult going up to the house and wreaking havoc of Leo, who is this actor that used to be great, and he feels like he's kind of losing his ability to be a great actor because he's been typecast as a bad guy or something, or
Right,
typecast
okay.
as a good guy, and he wants to be a bad guy. There's some phenomenal acting in it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio has one scene in it that is just incredible, and he acts next to this little girl who's also a really, really good actor. Maybe I'll bump it up. Now that I'm
Maybe
talking
bump it up
about
now.
Yeah, maybe above Kill Bill. But it's the thing that's put it so low is that it is maybe too long, and there's too much sitting around watching Brad Pitt drive a car.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. Some people
Yeah.
might like that. Maybe that's
Yeah.
maybe that's why they voted it up.
Very true. You've got Death Proof down as their last one. I've not seen it.
From what I remember, it's not a bad film, but
Yeah.
when you're up against Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, it just falls down the list.
Yeah.
It's a good film. It's not particularly long, if I remember, as well. And Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell, so you're not really. I'm trying to think of the right words here. Like I said, you're not really. It's ranked a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, for example.
Oh, nice.
So Kurt Russell's Kurt Russell. The storyline's pretty good, but it's kind of like an homage to like the sort of 70s films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you didn't like Brad Pitt driving a car, you're probably not going to like Kurt Russell driving a car because he drives his car a lot, except he crashes it more.
All right. Okay. Cool.
He's like a serial killer in it. Like I say, it's good. It probably could be better, but it works out quite well. And he's like I said, he's a serial killer and stuff like that. And he then like hunts down the survivors and stuff. So he kind of goes on a bit like a Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees type killing spree.
Yeah. That's good. All right. I might watch that tonight. Actually, I'll give that a go.
It's good. Yeah, I'd watch
Sounds
that.
good.
I'd watch Jackie Brown. I would definitely watch.
Yeah.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it. Whereas like Death Proof was done, I think Death Proof would have been better if he hadn't been pairing up with Robert Rodriguez to
Oh.
for the Grindhouse, because it was filmed under Grindhouse and then the Grindhouse and Planet Terror. And I like Robert Rodriguez as a director, but I wonder if that was if Tarantino had just gone after Death Proof by himself. I wonder if it'd been a different film. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
If we'll try and get the listeners involved. If you guys want to give us your top 10/top 9 of Tarantino's films, drop us a message on Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs. Drop us a tweet. We want to get people listening involved as much as we can. So if you guys feel like our lists are outrageous, then let us know. It is personal opinion, but you're all wrong and we're right.
You're all wrong. We are right, and that's the feature of every great debate.
Exactly, democracy.
Democracy.
So
Love democracy.
Moving on to a new segment to the show.
Yeah, well, we were thinking about Suicide Squad, weren't we? And we were thinking about how they're all going to be wacky, because at this point we don't know, apart from King Shark,
King Shark, great name.
we don't know who else does what. There's a guy dressed in polka dots. I don't know what he does.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, yeah. I don't know what he does
There's
either.
like Pete Davidson's character. We don't even know what the weasel thing does.
Is he just a weasel?
Just a weasel. So what I've done is I've gone out and I have found a rather weird a book called Would You Rather Randoms, and the author, Rory like this, the author is called Clint Hammerstrike.
That's an incredible name.
Incredible name. He might make it into Bearvalanche with a name like that.
He should make it into the sequel.
Make it into the sequel.
Clint
He could be
what?
part of the military unit.
Clint
Clint Hammerstrike. Fantastic.
Hammerstrike.
Clint Hammerstrike and Chad Yeager sound like they could save the world.
Yes, definitely. So, what are we calling this segment? We're calling this segment "Would You Rather."
I guess it's Would You Rather's. But we're
Would you
going
rather?
to. Would you rather? What ifs? Would you rather? What ifs? Something like that.
I'll talk to Stuart and see if he can make a jingle up for us.
A jingle up for us. Oh, fantastic! Either
segment.
or. Okay. So obviously we don't need to ask the superhero supervillain question because we're going with villain because we're creating our own Suicide Squad character, right?
Oh, okay.
So what I've decided is, I was thinking, I read this book and it was like, here's this page on superpowers, and I was like, well, maybe we could make our own Suicide Squad character. We can give him a name, or her a name.
Yeah.
Shooting them here, and from there on out, we could just base them off you, Rory, and then you can be in the Suicide Squad. How does that sound?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So supervillain, would you rather be invisible or able to fly?
Oh, quick question. If I can fly, do I only fly as fast as I can run?
Oh, let's go ahead and say you can fly as fast as you can make yourself fly. That would be
Fly.
different compared to the next question. Flying?
Maybe
Interesting.
fly. Yeah, fly.
Fly. Okay. Would you rather age at half the speed of a normal human being or run 100 times the speed of a normal human? Obviously, normal, we're going to put average because obviously Usain Bolt's a normal human. Yeah, he's a normal human being. He can just run really fast. So
I'm gonna say run fast because if I can run fast, then I can fly fast.
What happens when you start? Will you regret that when you start losing your hair?
No, because life is long enough.
Life is long enough.
I think if you make it to your 90s, it's some good innings right there.
Good innings right there. All right. So far you are flying and you can run really fast. So you're pretty much just turning yourself into Superman. Be able to lift up lorries with your hands or lift them up with your mind.
Oh, hands.
Hands?
Yeah, because it looks cooler.
It looks cooler. You're so vain.
Yeah. There could be some. You could put that in the name somewhere. Vain man.
Vain man.
You could be a giant vein.
Just one word. It's one word now. Just vanity. Look, everyone.
Vanity.
Is it a bird? Is it plane? No, it's vanity. There he is.
Oh, so good.
Would you rather be able to create fire or ice?
Oh, fire.
Fire?
I think there's a lot of superpowers.
There's a lot of superpowers. I'm just reading them out here. We can pick the best ones. Would you like to be able to stretch to incredible lengths or shrink to microscopic size?
Shrink.
Shrink?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Captain or Mr. Fantastic. He stretches a lot.
Yeah.
I'd rather, be able to... Because I can't go invisible, I can fly. I might as well go really, really small and then fly around.
Have X-ray vision or supersonic hearing? You're stumped.
I don't know. I think X-ray vision because then you can you turn both on and off? Or do you always have X-ray vision?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not constant.
If you've got supersonic hearing, I don't really want to hear everyone's issues all the time. So like
You'd
X-ray
be able
vision,
to hear
you could just
everything, Rory. You'd be able to hear everything.
Oh no. I think probably X-ray vision.
X-ray vision? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Do you want to shoot lasers out your eyes or spider webs from your hands?
Oh, none of the above. Can I just
No,
pick
you
none?
can't have none of the above. You can have either or. It's called Would You Rather.
Oh,
That's the game, Rory.
well, I guess lasers because I can already fly, so I don't need to swing.
All right. Okay. So you're basically turning yourself into Superman. I see where this is going. All right. Back to the mind question. Would you be able to move things with your mind or control people's minds? I feel like control people's minds is really creepy.
It is creepy, isn't it? Move.
Move. And then obviously you're going to go for, would you rather be super strong or super smart?
Strong.
Strong. Strong.
I'm too smart.
Vanity
already.
is strong. Strong superhero. Huh. Interesting. Oh my god, we could go on to like, would you rather fight as your superhero? There's so many in here. Like, who would you rather fight? Tinky Winky or Peppa Pig?
Oh, Tinky
And
Winky.
does that depend if you're still a superhero Vanity? I don't know.
Just right in the dick.
It is Tinky Winky.
It is Tinky Winky.
It is Tinky Winky. So many here. It's like, ooh, that's not a good question. Would you rather have 6 fingers on each hand or 8 toes on each feet? On each foot.
I don't know. 6. Is there a conclusion to this superhero thing?
I don't know. Well, Vanity Court. Well, we can look at Vanity, right?
Let's finish this off. So who am I?
Wrap this up, right? So for Suicide Squad, Vanity, our new superhero or supervillain, can fly, run 100 times the speed of a normal human, be able to lift up lorries with their hands, create fire, shrink, X-ray vision,
Class.
lasers, move things with their mind, and they're super strong. All right, how do you die in Suicide Squad?
How do I die in Suicide Squad with
How
all
does
my
Vanity
powers?
die?
Vanity dies by basically saving someone or a bunch of people, and be in such an incredible way. I've used all my powers. I've like flown, shrunk down, moved some stuff, and then as I've lifted something up to save all these people, I just think, look how great I am right now. And then suddenly I'll just get obliterated
destroyed
by something.
by the villain. I was thinking that. I was like thinking
just
like
maybe
all the lines of
like skewered in the back with something, and then
lifted up. Yeah. So at least as you're like being held aloft by the villain on this giant spear, and you're like, but do I look good doing it?
yeah,
I know.
I want to die.
Death.
I want to die in a cool way.
In a cool way. Or I was thinking like you do all the things to save people, and then some kid's doing their videoing with his phone, and you're like, you like catch yourself in the mirror, and like your hair's off, and then all of a sudden you like you're like, oh no, my hair's off, and then you see this kid videoing, and you're like, what the hell, kid? You go up to like delete it off his phone, and that's when the villain gets you.
Ah, nice. That's quite a good one. Nice.
You
That
can't
was
take a
fun.
video of me.
That's a good segment.
It's a good little segment. I thought it was fun. I will keep reading this book and see if I can find. There's all sorts of fun questions in here, things that you will not enjoy answering. Would you rather climb to the top of Everest or win a gold medal in the Olympics?
Oh, gold medal. I don't want to climb
Gold
up
medal.
Everest.
Yeah. And you get to
That
pick the
sounds
sport.
awful.
Yeah, it does sound awful. You see everything about Everest, all these things about Everest, and you're like, why would I want to go up there? Everything I see ends in misery every time.
Yeah. That'll do it for this week, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
If you guys want to contribute to the topics, find us on all the socials by searching for That's Class Pod, and let us know what you find class. We'll probably put it in a future episode if we like what you find class. If we don't like it, then we probably won't feature it because it's our thing. So you can also catch our faces on YouTube if you want to listen to this all again, but in a visual form. If you're one of those weirdos that likes to watch a podcast rather than listen to a podcast, you're more than likely to do that. If you do that on YouTube, leave us a like and leave a comment. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Have a super day. Say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.